What's up, guys? Welcome back to Black Star Anime, the anime community's voice of reason. I'm your host, Cody.
And I'm Manny.
And you're watching Let's Talk Anime. This edition of Let's Talk Anime, we're going to be covering the summer 2016 season and all the shows from FUNimation. So just like we normally do, Manny, we're going to start our video with our drop list. It's going to be super quick because there's a reason we're not watching these right now.
Yeah, let's get right into them. First is Scarlet Rider Xechs.
Yeah.
No. Basically, every character was annoying. The story they were telling was like had holy crap moments that didn't make me go holy crap. I dropped it instantly after 2 episodes. No, thank you. First Love Monster is the same way. Every character is annoying, and the romance kept being weird. Like, I thought with the premise it wouldn't be so weird. You know, when you have a high school girl who falls in love with a guy at first sight, turns out he's a 5th grader.
Yeah, that's just weird.
That's weird. And I was like, cool, maybe they're going to make it not weird, and he's going to be like a cool older dude.
No.
Nope, he acted like a 5th grader. It was super weird. Dropped. Next is Planetarian.
Yeah, so I thought Planetarian was going to go one way, and it
made a hard left.
It made a hard left into Snoozeville. I got pretty bored by, I think I gave it like a good 4 to 5 ups. I felt potential was there, but at the same time, I felt like I wasn't watching anything new. You know, I mean, you have a robotic girl, and she has like X amount of time span, and the main part I thought was cool was kind of like the post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear war Tokyo world they had going on, and they didn't really cover it. They just
didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, you just bye. Sorry.
Yep. So this last one, it's not a drop. It's kind of on its own. Specifically because I don't believe either of us is the target audience for it.
Oh, okay.
We watched Time Travel Girl.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it's bad because the animation's great. I actually like the characters that they're building.
Yeah. It's a very interesting premise.
Yeah. So this girl goes back in time. She has like this device that she stumbles upon and sends her back in time. And she meets William Gilbert. And essentially the first episode is a science lesson on how William Gilbert discovered that why compasses always point north and why the Earth is magnetic. So the show is very much a science lesson type show.
Yeah.
And that's cool. It was executed well. Everything about it is great. It's not for me. I watched a couple episodes and was like, alright, I'm done. I don't need to see anymore. What you guys did was cool. Not my thing.
Yeah, there's specific people for it. I mean, I like science shows and things of that nature. So, I mean, it's something I would say check it out, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. I put it on its own category.
Yeah.
No, I'm not the demographic.
All right. Next up, we have the watch laters. Now, this particular category, we're not saying they're like really, really good, and we're not dropping them. It's just we literally just want to watch later for numerous reasons. First up on the watch laters list is Cheer Boys. Look, this was a potential drop for me. I am going to go back and watch it later. When it comes to like the demographic and of the show within it and comparing it to other sports animes, I was severely underwhelmed.
That's kind of why I want to watch later because since it is a sports anime. And we have other stuff like Days from the Crunchyroll that we were talking about.
Gosh, you can't compare those.
They're very not comparable. So I want to watch it all at once to see if they get there as a whole instead of doing it every episode.
Yeah, it's not a great weekly at all.
In general, I like what they're doing with the characters. They're building a quirky cast that meshes well together. So I like that. Again, I want to see it all when it's done and when they're not in the building phase.
Gotcha.
Next on the list is The Disastrous Life of Saiki.
So this is a short. Each episode's what, like a good 2 to 3 minutes?
Did some weirdness with it. There's specials that each special is 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, okay,
and then they bunch together to make one episode. So you can just watch the episode. I don't see the reason behind the shorts.
True.
It's weird. But this show is so random.
Yeah, it's a random weird show. It's actually pretty funny while you're watching it.
Yes.
Like the main character is a psychic and he has powers.
He has a lot of powers.
He's not Mob Psycho, but it's just super duper random. I feel like I have to be in the right mood and right mindset to watch it.
Yeah.
Like I can't go from some of the good shows we're going to talk about later on and then watch this.
No.
All of them on a weekly. Like, no. I need to get it done and out of the way.
This is a decent show, but you have to take it in small doses.
Yeah.
Like literally one episode every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's very, very random. That's pretty much all I can say about it. It's funny though, check it out.
Next one up we have is Servamp.
Alright, so Servamp, I actually really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But similar to Taboo Tattoo, like we talked about in the last video, there's a lot of tropes. Oh, okay. And they get a little annoying. They kind of get in the way of what they're doing.
It got lost in the trope. That's the issue.
Really, I think the tropes is there to grab the mainstream audience. Mm-hmm. You know, but I like what they're doing with the vampires. There's essentially like 7 real vampires, and they're all based off the seven deadly sins. Okay, cool. So it's a cool concept. They're doing cool stuff. They're showing cool powers. I want to keep watching the show, but all at once, so I'm not hit with tropes weekly that annoy me. Mm-hmm. And last on the watch later list is D.Gray-man Hallow.
Look, I really wanted to put this in the good list. And I can't justify that, even though I think it's good. Like, this is one of the shows that I waited a couple weeks, and then I just montaged like a good 5 episodes straight out. The issue with D.Gray-man right now is that FUNimation streaming doesn't have the last 50 episodes leading up to where Hallow begins.
You can get lost.
So, in a total, there's 103 episodes before Hallow starts. And FUNimation only has like 51. So, if you don't watch those, you're going to be lost. And then, even then, the issue with D.Gray-man right now is this season's only going to be about like 12 episodes when I looked into it. And they're just like booming through it. They're condensing a lot of information. There's plot happening, but plot explanation is not going on very well in the show. And I feel like this supersedes the issue with the show. This is kind of like a manga issue, if you've read the manga also. So, for someone who, A, is not into mainstream shonens, this is a mainstream shonen, very dark fantasy with comedic moments. So, if you're not into that and you don't want to watch 103 episodes on top of the 12 episodes of Hallow that's coming out, then I can't recommend it as a good show because it's not welcoming for an introductory audience, you know, compared to some other shows where I could watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood in like 64 episodes and have a great time. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? So I have to make that comparison with the show. But I'm personally enjoying it. I'm caught up. I've watched all the previous episodes, but there's just stuff happening that I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what's going on fully. I'm just here for the ride, so. And now we're going to jump into the good list. Not great, but these are definitely good.
These are good. First on the list is going to be Handa-Kun.
Okay. I was on the fence in the first episode.
Yeah, disclaimer. The first 15 minutes almost of the first episode.
It was pretty rough.
No, it's complete trash. It's not even rough. It's trash.
It was borderline droppable.
It's trash. Yeah, like at 15 minutes in the first episode, I'm like, why am I watching this? Mm-hmm. The episode finishes strong, like very strong. And then the subsequent episodes are actually, they're really, really good. Yeah. It's a comedy. You have this guy who's stuck like in his own bubble. He's in his own head, basically. Yeah. Always thinking all these negative thoughts all the time. Yeah. And he almost doesn't talk to anybody ever. And the one time he talks to people during like each episode, he says something semi-profound. You get a mini life lesson and everybody thinks he's awesome.
Yeah, like he's super popular. He doesn't like people. He can't stand people. He wants to be left alone. He's super popular at school.
But he thinks he's not popular. He's all in his head thinking everybody hates him. So he tries to help somebody here and there. He says something. You get a mini life lesson, which is great.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny show, too.
Yeah, the show's great.
And with this show, it's supposed to be a sequel of Brahman. Mm-hmm. And that's a highly praised show, at least to me. I mean, I've gotten valuable life lessons from it.
It won our Comedy of the Year.
Yeah. This is definitely a standalone. You can watch this without watching Brahman.
Absolutely.
And you won't feel lost or anything like that. So don't let that deter you from watching this show.
Good show. Must recommend it. Watch it.
Next one up, we have Tales of Zestiria, the Xechs.
Yo.
The newest anime from Ufotable, and you can see it.
This,
it's clean.
This is what I'm going to say. This show was borderline in our great list. We're going to get to that category after this. Borderline there. Disclaimer, this is why it didn't get there. Mm-hmm. The show doesn't really hold your hand with the storytelling, and not in a good way. It'll tell you the story subtly in one line. If you miss that line of dialogue, you're lost for a couple episodes. It doesn't, and it won't reference things ever again.
It's not bad. This is kind of the medium. The way, if I had to rank them for someone to really like put it in perspective, for over analyzing and explaining a plot, Hunter x Hunter gets like an 11 out of 10. And D.Gray-man Hallow right now is getting like a 3 out of 10, borderline 2, whereas this is kind of like a 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
So it's explaining things, but it's definitely not where like an 8 or a 9. So
yeah.
And there were moments, like Manny said, where I'm watching it and then I like blinked and then it said something. I'm like, wait, what happened? Who's that? Oh, I'm pissed off right now.
What's going on?
Gotta rewind.
So yeah, but
besides that, this is a super clean show.
No, it's more than super
It's redonkulously clean.
This is like setting the bar to a whole new level. Like this is the new.
The quality in this is borderline like an animated feature film.
Yes, which is unheard of for a series. It's crazy.
The fantasy's really cool.
The fantasy's awesome.
The fantasy's dope. The characters I don't mind. Like I actually really like the characters.
Yeah.
The secondary main character is a princess who can kick ass and hold her own.
She's great.
And I love that about this show.
Yeah. So great characters. The storytelling, you might get lost. Mm-hmm. Stay with the show. The action's off the hook.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Good show. Highly recommend it. Tales. Great.
The first one on our great list is actually not a Funimation exclusive, but no one else has the streaming rights to it, so we put it in this video. Yeah. And it's Battery. And you can watch this on Amazon. This is a dope sports seinen. Heavy on the seinen.
Haikyuu has some competition this year for best sports anime.
That's hard though, because these are like, even though these are both sports anime, they're so different.
Very, very different genres. This is a drama.
This is a drama.
And it's a seinen drama at that. And it hits the seinen tones so well.
Yes.
You have our main characters, I think they're 12, so they're adolescents. They're about to hit that puberty stage very heavy. Mm-hmm. And it shows, like, our main character, he's very angry and very annoyed all the time.
Yep.
And you see a lot of what they're going through in middle school. There's bullying. The story's just great what they're doing so far, and they're telling this story through the love of baseball, which it's just awesome to see. The characters are fun, man. This show is just it's wonderful,
and it's good too because it hits on different like topics throughout it. Mm-hmm. So you have the sports aspect side of it. You have the coming of age side of it very strongly. Mm-hmm. Then you have kind of introductory of how do I go about the rest of my life, like what I do now will set the tone for everything else in life. You have concepts of bullying in this where they actually like present it.
They touch on family.
Yes, they touch on family a lot, so it's a little bit for everyone, and we definitely do recommend the show. It's actually very good.
Yes, again, it's on Amazon. Battery, freaking great. And last on the list, one of my personal favorites from last year, Heroic Legend of Arslan, The Dust Storm Dance.
Look, Funimation, you stress me out to the maximum with this show. This is easily one of the best shows from your lineup.
Oh, man.
Your promotion for the show has been abysmal, okay?
Abysmal? It's been non-existent.
Disrespectful.
Non-existent.
This show is so freaking good.
This show is amazing.
Okay, look, the first portion or season or whatever, Arslan was like an absolute great 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
This is like a 4.9 because it was less episodes.
Really, that's it.
That's the only reason it's a little bit less of a rank. It's just less episodes this time, in which I'm still hurt by that.
Yeah.
This is such a good show. was such a strong main character who actually makes progression.
Yes.
First episode of this show.
Not just him. All the characters make progression.
But first episode of this show, like, you know, the second episode, the big bad, a new big bad came, and they were like, screw you, Arslan, we're gonna start killing your people. Arslan was like, open the gates. And he whips out his sword. First season Arslan was not about that.
No.
And people looked at him,
he was wimpy and like, being protected all the time.
They were like, yo, that's our prince? Let's ride out.
Yeah.
He didn't even wait. He was like, open the gates.
Open the gates.
I was like, this is great. This is absolutely great.
Great show. Great character progression from
everybody. It's so freaking good.
It's beautifully done. I love the character designs.
It's very hard to explain why it's so good.
Please make more. Mm-hmm. I need Arslan season 3.
Yeah.
FUNimation actually promote this show.
And the dub is really good.
The dub is amazing.
The dub is really freaking good. So
promote this show. Let's get more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Arslan. It's freaking awesome.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Talk Anime. Our summer 2016 top picks from FUNimation and our one from Amazon.
Go ahead and give us a like if you like this video. Give us a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you're watching from FUNimation and Amazon, or what else we should be watching and discussing. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. It really helps out the show, and you get to see all the updates for all of our Black Star videos. Most importantly, share this out with your friends so they can see all the great animation FUNimation is giving out and where to watch it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Black Star. Tokyo pop mangas. They came with this cosplay poster that I forgot to hang up. These other rappers think they good, but they really suck. Otaku certified, all your base are belong to us, Richie.